All right, YouTube, listen up. Off-Road Yo-Yo here with another Yo-Yo review. Today, we're going to trudge through the sloppy, dangerous wilderness because we want to, and we do what we want. While we're here, we're going to talk about this, the Serenade by Thesis Yo-Yos. This yo-yo was sent to me by Colin Nguyen, which I can't really pronounce because I'm not terribly bright and I don't really try hard at things. But he's a really nice guy and he said I could try this out. And I'm glad he did because I like yo-yos. The Serenade is a plastic yo-yo. That means that the outside of the yo-yo and probably a lot of the middle parts are plastic. This yo-yo is called the Serenade. And if you look up Serenade in the dictionary, it'll be there, and it means stuff. A serenade is a song or piece of music usually played by some dude outside the window of his lover. Which, I mean, if they're already established as lovers and he's not trying to prove something, it's just like a Tuesday for them, it's kind of weird. I mean, I'm not an expert dater or like husband of the year or anything, but I would find it strange to just show up at my wife's workplace outside her window and sing. This isn't the first release from Thesis, but it is a release from Thesis. There's been more than this one, but there's also been this one, and together they're a company. Then the brand Thesis also means stuff. A thesis is like a theory or an idea that you then state and then prove or try to prove. Like if you've ever gone to college or saw movies about college, you've probably heard of the word thesis. So if you put them together, thesis and then Serenade, it's like I have an idea, I'm going to prove it, and here's a song that explains it. And you put it together, and I don't know, plastic yo-yo? You know, they should put a lot of ideas to songs, especially if they're good ideas. That would help deliver the point, and if they're right, really accentuate the fact that they're super right. I bet that hot dogs with cheese inside are really good. The Serenade has a bulbous, kind of big feel because it's big and kind of bulbous, and it feels comfortable in the hand. Like when you hold it like this, and when you kind of hold it like this too, and when you kind of squeeze it like this, it's pretty much got all the feeling good things covered. It's got these kind of chubby rims. It kind of feels like you're holding a piece of plumbing when you go to the Home Depot and you buy a tube. It's kind of like that, but you know, it's not. It's a yo-yo. The Serenade feels light, like you would expect a plastic yo-yo to feel, because it's made of plastic and not made of metal, but we've kind of covered that. So like, imagine what this feels like, and it's, you know, it's a lot like that. Open your door gently when you park your car so you don't bang the other car. This Serenade is black here, and it's also black there, but you can get it in other configurations, like not black here and not black there. The Serenade comes with this little middle circle thing that is intended to help you with the finger spins. Now, the finger spin is a trick I've never been able to do. No matter what kind of contraption or mod or Lego piece or what have you people come up with to make it easier, it just never works. I'm just missing that part of the brain, or am I? The Thesis Serenade somehow cracked the code with their little disky thing. This is the best I've ever done with the finger spin, and I do it a lot because it feels good. Now what I need now is some sort of thesis on you know, like what to do next. It's like this or something. I have an idea, just hear me out. Dogs as pets. Young people might not be aware of this because young people tend to be self-centered and selfish and just kind of dumb. but there used to be a band called Dire Straits, and Dire Straits had a song called Romeo and Juliet, and that song's title is based off of a book that this old, like really old guy wrote. Apparently it's pretty good. You look it up if you read. But in that song, the opening verse is, "A love-struck Romeo sings the streets of Serenade." See, even Dire Straits knows about serenades. When it comes to stability, which is something that yo-yo people like to talk about, and that's the yo-yo's tendency to like stand like this, kind of. See how stable that is? See how stable? Think we've done a good job talking about the stableness of the yo-yo. Because I mean, if that's not stable, what is it that you want? Dire Straits has another song called "Money for Nothing," and that song is like against the law in Canada because he says some bad words in it. But the real reason that song is against the law in Canada is because of the verse, "Look at them yo-yos." Mark Knopfler actually says, "Look at them yo-yos." And as we all know, Canada doesn't like that word. But saying, "Look at them return tops" is dumb, just like Canada. The stability and plasticness really comes in handy when you do hardcore tricks like the pinwheel. And you hear that sound it makes? Whoosh, 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 and stability. A lot of those nerd words end in S. Let's explore. Thesis, that's a nerd thing. Thesis, we've covered that. Opus, you know that movie, Mr. Holland's Opus? Yeah, that's a nerd word. That ends in S. That's some dude's thing. Opus. And it's also music related. So opus and serenade and thesis. Mr. Holland's thesis. Mr. Holland's opus. Mr. Holland's opus. Mr. Holland, open your thesis for some opus. Oh, I've noticed that some reviewers like to take the yo-yo apart and talk about the inside, which is probably useful to do that. Good for them. Another nerdy word, hypothesis. That's like putting hypoth in front of the word thesis. Hypothesis. Like a hypodermic needle goes underneath the skin, so a hypothesis goes below the thesis. So if you have the thesis, and your thesis is like cranberry sauce, and you want to prove cranberry sauce, first you want to hypothesis and get under it. Get under the sauce. If you get under the sauce with your hypothesis, then, and only then, will Mr. Holland come over and show you some opus. Doorknobs. It's going to be the 4th of July soon, and you know what that means. Yep. There's a theme in online communities where yo-yos are being discussed, that reviews are useless because everyone just says good things about all the yo-yos. And maybe that's true, but I would venture to say that if one person clicks like on this and found it useful, it's already way more useful than any of the people with those opinions. So, neener. Now that's all to say that guess what? I think this yo-yo is really good. Now I could go on defending why I think that and actually make this what others would deem a useful review, but I don't really feel like doing that. So I like this, end of story. In fact, this yo-yo was a loaner. They just loaned it to me so that I could haul it out into the gross woods and talk about it. And so I did. And the truth is, I'm going to send this back to them, and I'm probably going to immediately go to Yo-Yo Expert, where they still have them in stock, and buy one for myself. I'm very pleased with this yo-yo. and I've carried it a lot since I got it. I do make sure that I carry the yo-yo quite a bit before I do a review on it, because I tend to honeymoon hard. Every new yo-yo is really good, but this one passes the honeymoon test and is still good. The finger spins are good, the bulbosity is good, the name is good, it feels good, the plasticness is good. I like it. Deal with that. If you like this review, please like and subscribe. If you don't like this review, please like and subscribe. If you don't like and subscribe, that's fine. Well, that concludes that part of the review. Now I have to remember how to get out of here. This happens a lot. Maybe I should do it more often. Maybe I could sing my way out of here. Yeah, this doesn't look familiar at all, but I'll be fine. Get your money for nothing, and your chicks for free. This is actually a mountain bike trail. People mountain bike through here quite frequently, even while I'm out here talking about yo-yos. If you think about it, it's probably hella weird for them. I've done some hiking in my day, and I've done a lot of bike riding. Not once, not ever, have I almost crashed into some nerd talking about yo-yos in the middle of the trail. I like to think that I'm providing a service, an experience service for people who are looking for new things. Hey, come herd a nerd in the middle of nowhere who's talking about a toy to no one. The Thesis Serenade is a good yo-yo to walk and play with at the same time, because it's a yo-yo. In the middle of the Serenade, it's got this little circle or disc, and that is meant for finger spins. Now normally, I can't do a finger spin to save my life. And I died